Okay, so the cosmic space gorilla has become the evil space gorilla. He has set the universe on fire with his army of minions, and he's also got a giant space hurricane, and he's got this big tentacly monster with 100 arms, and he's just fucking a whole bunch of shit up, right? So they destroy the cosmic planet with all the titans on it, and send everybody flying into the universe. And so the sun god comes out of that fire, and he's like taking on the army of the apes first, and he's just punching his way around, trying to get to the evil space gorilla finally. One of his laser beams goes astray and hits the gray egg, and chips a piece off of the gray egg, and that piece is imbued with the sun god's magical bullshit, and so it comes to life, and it's the moon goddess, and she's looking around, and there's people running around, there's the storm, and there's the big tentacle monster, and there's the army of the apes, and just everything is on fire and terrible, and she's like, oh, I don't like this, and then the cosmic space horse runs by because he's wigging out too, and so out of the smoke and the fog and the fire and bullshit comes this huge hulking figure with a big head and arms and big broad shoulders and shit, and he's just like, I'm the evil space gorilla. But then the sun god is back in the fight, and he just gets him right in the face, and he's just punching the shit out of him. And so they go off to fight, but then the other apes, the army of apes, they close in on the moon goddess, and she's like, I am not afraid of you, I'll take you all on. And so she powers up in her own special way or whatever, and so she goes on to take on the army of the apes, and she's just like punching left and right and getting them and gotten them, and the sun god is also just kicking a whole bunch of ass. And so they're just dispatching all these mindless, faceless bad guys. And so after a while, they start to fight towards each other, and they're fighting back to back. And so the sun god sees the moon goddess finally, and he's like, I've seen the way you fight and kick ass, and now I see your face, and I'm smitten. Gorsh. And so the moon goddess comes in, and she's like, well, you're not trying to kill me, so I guess that's fine. And so they're like, good, we're a team. And so then they go off to do their own things, and the evil space gorilla's like, hey, sun god. And he's like, I'm gonna get you. And the sun god is like, all right, you dick, let's do this. And so the evil space gorilla fucking charges. And so he's just like, but then the sun god gets him right in the face with a big bolt of sunlight. And so the evil space gorilla's like, fuck my eye, and he runs off into space. And then the sun god passes out. He's like, oh, okay, fine. And he's just sleeping. But then the moon goddess is like, hey, you, friend, oh God. And he's like in pain and shit. And so she's just like, so how do I fix this? And he's like, I don't know, this is fine, I guess. And so they're going in for the kiss. But then, off in the distance, there's a sparkle. And the moon goddess turns, and she's like, what is that? It's just this little tiny sparkle, but it gets bigger and bigger. And the sun god's like, I can't really see it, because his eyes are all puffy and shit. And the moon goddess is like, I think that might be the evil space gorilla. And so he's like, the sun god pulls himself up, and he's like, all right, let's get ready to fight, I guess. And so they're in kind of rough shape, but they're like ready to fight, and they're just like, here we go. But then it turns out to be a big blue pirate ship, and there's a big blue pirate-looking Viking captain at the helm, and he's steering this ship, and he comes within visual distance or whatever. He's like waving to them, and he throws a ladder down, and he climbs down the ladder, he draws his sword, he kneels before them. He's like, sun god, moon goddess, I need your help. I have a dangerous mission for you. And they're just very confused.